And we are back in round one of our draft. This is the double Nocturnus craziness, so we're going to play first. And we've got a ton of crippling blights. I'm not sure how good that is, but we're not going to mulligan. We can take out what he has, so that's kind of good for us. I kind of regret keeping a triple crippling blight hand, but if he's got any sort of 1/1s and stuff, oh, hello and good luck. Just hello and good luck. Oh, and I was playing first, so I better play a land in the second main. That's just Photoshop doing its thing. So we've got a giant scorpion. I do actually regret keeping this hand, but hopefully you'll play something like a welcome turn. I'll be able to get rid of it. Avid Squire. That's good for me. So we can go ahead and just Crippling Blight it. And goodbye, Avid Squire. I don't need to think about you. So we've got the Bloodthrain Vampire. We'll play him a couple of turns. Again, not loving the 2-land hand. Should have really thought about that a bit more. I think we just slam out the giant scorpion first. They do the same damage, but he's got a bigger body in case he plays a guy. Just see him block with it. Again, he's in the colours of sort of 2-power flyers, which I was mentioning earlier. Didn't really want to see. Well, this is a prime public execution target because I'm not going to be able to get rid of that in any other way. Rummaging Goblin is a fantastic draw here. Will give us time to get into mana to use a public execution on this entrance before it just goes crazy and kills me. So we're going to go ahead and rummage away the other goblin, and we found a land, which is fantastic. Go with the Bloodthrain Vampire. That's one reason to play Arms Dealer. I mean, I've got the 2 goblins now. I mean, that was a mistake, probably not taking that. And we see go away, rats and a land. That's not too bad, but again, it's not great. I sit there being milled. I haven't really got enough damage to be able to race that adeptly. So we've got the Silvercoat Lion. He's not really a threat to what we want to do. Muckwader is very good, so we'll go out and play the Muckwader. And we'll blight this guy. Oh, he unsummons it. I don't mind unsummoning he's there because he just doesn't know I've got another Crippling Blight. So that's kind of okay. And we'll run in with... I don't want to sacrifice the Goblin, really. I guess we're just running in with this guy. Plus that unsummon means that public execution is not going to... Oh, he's got rid of my Nocturnus. Well, one of my Nocturnus. I'd like to have drawn that. And a swamp, so I'd have drawn a swamp and then untapped cast Nocturnus and had this. So we'll see what the next card drawn would be, and that will tell us if what would have happened. So what we're going to do, we're going to run in with the Muckwader. Hopefully draw a land. So, oh, and he's got a fog bank. That's really irritating. But we have the blight, so it doesn't really matter too much. I think he's banking on this Entrancer, which is a pretty good bet. We've got Cower and Fear as well, so we could blight. We can't do it at the same turn. We can blight that. I think we blight the fog bank anyway. Um, First, there's nothing I really want to get rid of out of this hand. We've got to blight the fog bank. That's got to go. At this point, we could probably get rid of the Karen Fear because that can't block. I was thinking about sacrificing to the Bloodthrain Vampire. but that doesn't really matter either because we can't do that. So hopefully what will happen is he'll block that, and then I'll be able to rummage and find a swamp. So he's done the blocking part. That's good for me. So we are looking for a swamp. I think we have to get rid of the Fury to do it. We're going to draw a card. And it's a Nocturnus, which is a bit frustrating. But there we go, he's going to mill us some more. The Viable Ghoul is good. We can play a swamp. And this is going back to my hands. I'm kind of glad the flunkies isn't... We didn't draw the flunkies, because it wouldn't have really done very much here. Another 3-power guy would be nice, but just that next swamp to cower and Nocturnus would be fantastic. And we'll get to rummage away. Let's see what happens there. Because if we draw a swamp, we can return this to our hand, and then rummage it away, and every time we swamp, we can draw an extra card through the ghoul. He's got one card in hand. It could be negate. We've not played any instance of sorceries worth mentioning. Aha, the shade is going to get us there. So we're going to go ahead and swing with the guys. I'm going to leave the vampire behind, only because I usually would get it chumped or something, but only because of rummaging goblin. See, I could rummage, but I mean rummage the Nocturnus away, and that kind of defeats the point of what I'm doing. So we'll... Oh, we can just cower in fear and get rid of it. We really can just cower in fear. Yeah, we'll just cower in fear here. And gets rid of his fog bank. Well, that didn't matter anyway. But he gets rid of this Entrancer, which is causing me some grief. Get rid of Shade and the Searing Spear, that hurts. But now that's gone, and we're free to attack with the vampire. Hopefully, again, we're looking to draw a swamp. Not that many in the graveyard. He seems to have been able to mill away just spells. So I'm quite hopeful in drawing a swamp or my Dragon Skull Summit. If not, we have the Shade. I don't think Battleflight Eagle does that much for him at the moment. I mean, he's under pressure. It's not going to do a whole heap. I'll say under pressure. He's on 15. The only one's going to get through is this Scorpion time and time again. But our hand is seriously strong. So, and the good thing about Nocturnus is we've got the Rummaging Goblin as well. So we can rummage away the Viable Ghoul and try and get another Blackguard on top. That's a pretty cool interaction that I hadn't thought of. Not something that would come up to very often. I mean, playing Vampire Nocturnus in the first place is pretty rare with the triple black. But having support for it as well in the Nighthawk, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit annoyed that one's gone, but what are you going to do? He seems to be taking an awfully long time. There we go. So he's going to attack me with his flying cat. We're going to go to 16. But it doesn't really matter at this point. Don't think I want to rummage anything away. I quite like that hand. Okay, we drew a land, but it's not the one I was looking for. So what we're going to do... It does say that we can play Public Execution next turn, which is very nice. That was a mistake. I should have played that after an attack, because now the Muck Wader can't do a thing. We haven't got that many cards left. So we get the Viable Ghoul back. We could just run in the Muck Wader because we have the Execution. There's little point in just losing it for no particular reason. So it gets rid of his Eagle, which will die anyway. So I don't think I'll be doing that. I hope this is not the Mind Sculpt guy, because I'm going to go ahead and be rummaging away the Viable Ghoul. It'd be bad if he was the Mind Sculpt guy. So he's in with the Eagle, which kind of expected. I'm on enough high enough life so it doesn't actually matter at this point. I'm going to rummage away this guy, draw a card. It's the Summit, which is nice. So, well, we're just going to play this again so we can rummage again, which is a nice interaction of just getting that over and over again. He can't actually block if I have a black card on top. If not, I can always rummage, which I'm going to have to. We'll discard. Actually, we'll discard a mountain. Don't need it. Don't want it. And we'll draw, and hopefully we'll see a vampire. Oh, we've got another mountain on top. That's disappointing. Truly disappointing. So what we'll do is we'll just swing with the team. Keeping the shade. Well, I won't need to keep the shade back at all. Well, it's not. He's just going to block it with that. So I want to keep that back. So yeah, we'll keep the shade back and just swing with these two, leading to an execution next turn. The board state is crazy in my favour anyway, so all he really can do is... Oh, I didn't actually leave up activation, but that's fine. Again, it doesn't really matter. Because of the Nocturnus, other vampires and stuff, so kind of got that made. I think the next top two cards, there should be a black card. And if there's not, then we'll just execution the guy and, you know, he'll cry into his milk, so it's no big thing. All those crippling blights are gone, and got 10 cards left. We've got a couple more black cards in the library. We should be able to coax out a black card to activate Nocturnus. Get in for, is that 5, 6, 7, 8? He's doing something. Oh, he switcherooed. He switcherooed, and now he's got my Vampire Nocturnus. That is a pain in the ass. Not that does him a whole heap of good, but actually it's better for me. Well, that's really good for me. That means I get me a Scroll Thief. He's going to go in with the Eagle, which is, again, is fine. And he's going to be in a whole world of hurt. And whatever, when I untap. So we're going to attack with the Goblin as well. We're going to try and do him in. I think we just execution this and swing with the team. Don't even know if we keep rummaging Goblin back. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 damage there. All these 1/1s. If I had that muck wader, this has been a little scarier. So I think we go with attacking. Got 9 cards left. I know we've got Vampire Nighthawk there, so we can attack 4. Brings him to 9. Now I've got the interaction between the Ghoul and the Blood-throwing Vampire. A couple of good things left in our deck as well. Pretty scary only having 8 turns left, but that should be more than enough. Oh, he's going to take my execution and unsummon a thing. Oh no, he's taking the Chandra Fury. That's even worse. But in fact, I think we only lose... We lose a lot of life, though. That's a big pain. So we're going to sack the Scroll Thief. And I think we rummage. And we found another land, which is not fun. Yeah, that wasn't good. So he takes us down to 6. And we've only got 2 power left on the board and a handful of lands. So this has gone from a very strong board position to not so much in a spell twine. And we've drawn another land, which is not good. I think if we can cast out and get the ghoul back, I think we just play him at this point. Swing for 2. That leaves 7, 4, 5, 6. So I could swing and win if he doesn't. He hasn't got a guy. He has to stay back with the eagle. 4 power is a lot. He's got to have something if he's attacking with this. So what we really want to draw is Searing Spear right about now. In the next 2 turns, we've only got 6 cards left. So, oh, it's been used. It's in the graveyard from the guy. So we haven't got the Searing Spear left. And he's Planar Cleansing. Not sure how good that is for him, unless he has another guy, because I got me a handful of land, and that ghoul is coming back once again. And we can Duty Bound Dead, which I think we have another Duty Bound Dead in our deck. So, essentially, we could draw Duty Bound Dead and attack for 6. A Watercourse is not going to save him now, because I've got another swamp in my hand. It's a good job I saved those up and didn't rummage them away. So we attack for 5, he blocks with the Courser. Or he doesn't block the Courser. No, why would he do that? I'm going to play out the Flunkies. And now he's in a whole world of hurt. He needs another creature to be able to survive. Even if he attacks the Courser, I've got the Duty Bound Dead to be able to regenerate. And we won that round, which is just bloody fantastic. So, anything we want to bring in? And we know he's got the guy who's milling away. I don't think he's probably enough of a threat to have immortality, unless there's something which is completely useless. I've just taken something out by mistake. I don't even know what it is. So, now we'll play the game of what did we take out. We have 1 Vileborn Ghoul. Oh, it was a Fury. It was the Fury. Now, looking what there is, he has Spell Twine and that guy, and his deck is actually pretty good. Ravenous Rats. Don't think we want Ravenous Rats. And we could let him mill us if he draws it, and then hopefully we draw an Elixir. That's not a great plan. Ravenous Rats is pretty aggressive. I think I don't want to lose to being milled, so we'll do that. We'll put in the Elixir. It's not that bad. This is a pretty strong hand. No, we do not want to mulligan. Double Duty Bound Dead, Nocturnus, and Shade. All I need to do is draw a land, and then we're good to go. And there's the land. So I'll be actually casting Vampire Nocturnus, and hopefully finding another Nocturnus. You never know. Fogbank is irritating. But we'll just play another Duty Bound Dead. Pass the turn, because he's just going to block with his Fogbank. This turn would be nice if we got a Crippling Blight or a Searing Spear. Be able to render this useless even. That's not so scary. That was going to draw more land, which is fine. So we'll run out with the Nocturnus. I mean, the Shade is pretty scary as well. Not while the Fogbank's alive, but we'll look at that later in the game. Because that's going to get Crippling Blight or Searing Speared. There's no 2 ways about it. It's good to see that he hasn't got the Enchanter, because that's the only thing I'm actually worried about. Drawing another land is not fun, but we get to play out this guy. And we know we've got Elixir next, so Yeah. Well, it'll get our life up. We get to play the shade if we don't want to see the top of the library. Give it a shuffle around. We also attack him for, well, it doesn't matter how much we attack him for while that fog bank's about. So I think we're in for the long game this time. There's going to be no just running them over. We'll have to take whatever he plants with his Corsair though, which isn't great. So he's going to fly. He's going to come in, and I guess he's going to get me for 5, 4 even. He's got something cast for 4. This is Entrancer, and then I'm crying to my milk. Just a scroll thief. Not worried about that. Right, we've got Searing Spear on top. Really don't want to get rid of that because that's the only way we're going to get rid of that fog bank and do some real work. So I'm not going to shade this turn. Leave the mana open to regenerate Deep Undead so I can block this thing, which is kind of cool. He knows this is coming though, so that's going to be pretty scary. That we can kill that and then attack for 7, maybe. So we're just going to block with the GT Bound Dead and regenerate it. So we've got 3 cards, well, 3 cards left in hand. We get to Searing Spear this guy. Hopefully he'll come up. I can play Searing Spear and the Shade, if so need to be. And it's a giant scorpion, so this is magical Christmas lands, because we get to Searing Spear this. He might have Unsummon, but it's about getting the damage in on this turn. And in magical Christmas land, we're going to attack for 2 Exalted Triggers on my Vampire Nocturnus. He hasn't got Neck Snap or whatever that card is called. So that's good for me. And we're going to play out. I don't think we do. I think we. Well, we can't play out well, we can play the Shade. I'm going to play this in case I get the Fireball and Ghoul. But we probably keep the Shade behind for next turn if we don't get the trigger for the Nocturnus. If not a black card, then we can shuffle away. And we can do the same again on the following turn with a lot more mortality. Gives us a bit more of a thing. That's not so bad. Putting on scroll 3 can be pretty annoying, but it doesn't matter how big it might get because I've got the Duty Bound Deads here to protect me all day long. So I think this Nocturnus might just get in for the full amount. Oh, he's coming in with the team. So we are definitely blocking the Corsair and the Scroll Thief. I think he's realised that Nocturnus is going to kill him awfully quickly. And the Elixir on the board, he doesn't know about the Shade, but you can see the Elixir and you can see that I'm probably getting an activation out the next 2 cards you'll see on top of my library. He's trying to regain some life. When he's got another 3 turns, and looking at his board, I've got more than that. And he knows I've got Chandra's Fury and stuff. Right, so we can. I think we cast the Scorpion. That's miserable for him with his plan with his guys. And then Elixir away, just getting back some life. And shuffle it around. We got a Swamp, which isn't so good, but he hasn't got any blockers, so in again with an Nocturnus for 5. If he just left behind the Corsair, he could have blocked that effectively. Well, no, he couldn't, but he could have blocked that effectively, and that was silly. But next turn, hopefully, we'll get an activation off the Nocturnus. Seeing another Nocturnus would be kind of fun. I think here he swings for the team. Yeah. I clear blockers. I'm going to get rid of that Scroll Thief. and then go down by 4. He goes up to 14. Oh, he's activating his Corsair. I don't know what it must be in his hand. He must be drawing land, like just lands. But he takes me down to 12, goes up to 14. I'm not too afraid. Having these regeneration guys on the ground is really good. And then he probably should have had that on there in the first place. If he drew an island, then it's better for him. Strange enough, I've drawn another swamp, so we're going to bring the shade out and shuffle once again. Take that swamp off the top and reveal the Nighthawk, which is fantastic. We just want to go in with the Nocturnus because the two triggers for Exalted. And now we can't even effectively attack. A, because of Nocturnus, if it doesn't trigger, then he can't just sit there and take 5. Or from the shade, and that's pretty scary as well. But he can't attack into me really realistically. The Scorpion's going to take out the Corsair, and the shade can trade with the Sunstriker. He could have Planar Cleansing, and that would be pretty rubbish for me. But I'd rather not take the damage. We'll block this guy and pump the shade. Because, I mean, nothing would survive from Planar Cleansing, so we might as well just keep off as much damage as possible. We're still going for Plan Nocturnus. I mean, he wouldn't have just sacked his board if he didn't have the cleansing. Yeah. So, just going to play out the Nighthawk. He could have other guys in hand, just keeping them back because he knew he had this was coming. Healer of the Pride. That's okay, as long as he doesn't like Captain's Call or something. Pillar Field Ox. I'm happy to sit here and let him Ox all day long. We've got the Elixir again. It's kind of nice. Can shuffle all that goodness back into the library. I could take 4. Well, taking 2 and taking him down. He's got no cards in hand. I'll take him down to 9. I'll go down to 10. But I've got Elixir, so I think we're just going to be aggressive here. I think that's the right thing to do. So that's all gravy. He's going to attack with his team. In a turn, I'll Elixir to up the count of stuff that I want. All that stuff I wouldn't mind drawing again. Puts us at 15. Could save it for if I draw a Nocturnus and the trigger's there, because it'd be good with the Nighthawk. But I really don't want to draw any more lands. I've drawn 9 lands out of 17. There's 8 left in 24 cards. Upping that ratio wouldn't actually do that much, so Rummaging Goblin is good enough for me. We fly in with the team. So I'll successfully now up Elixir now, because I can get rid of these lands which are sitting in my hand. Fire the Goblin. We go down to 8. Which is fine. And we go back to 13. So we'll draw, and we've drawn a Crippling Blight, which we won't play out now because there's no real reason. Making these guys not block. I mean, he's not killing me with Pillar Field Ox and Healer of the Pride, so no big thing. And he can't spell Twine now, which is another positive. Usually I do this at end of turn, but this I could just draw a creature, and Searing Spear is nice. It means he just dies next turn. unless he draws a flyer or has negate. And he's just going to healer Ox me. Oh, he's not even going to use the Ox, he's just going to use the healer. Like, afraid of going down to minimal health. What we'll do, we'll rummage the swamp away, see what we draw, and we'll finish him off with a Searing Spear. That's a Nocturnus, but we're going to play this out just for a bit of giggles, because we can also rummage. And it's execution on the top, so I think we're just gonna see how the deck works out, just because it's a bit of fun. I mean, we've got the game in hand. The Searing Spear at 17 life. He's on 1. He's drawing nothing but land, so divination. It's no big problem. Even if he draws a flyer, I've got the blight. It's kind of a jerkish thing to do. Not kill him straight away. Have the mana up to kill him, just in case he's got the lose the game trigger on whatever he's playing here, which he won't have. Considering the cards in his hand, I think he's just done. He knows I have execution. Even if he's got a flyer, I think he knows he's dead because of the execution. He's already used his planar cleansing. Not much else he can do. I might just start to edit this part because you guys don't need to sit here and wait for whatever he's doing. I should have killed him with the Searing Spear instead of making you wait all this time. So, yeah, long game is long. I don't know. Are you still there? Clearly still there. I mean, you're not going to respond to that if good games. He was just saying that you had to spell Twine, but no targets in the graveyard. But even if he did, it wouldn't really matter. In response, I was going to Searing Spear him. So yeah, that was the first round. I'm quite happy how that deck plays out. Lots of little interactions that I hadn't seen before, so it was gravy, and we'll go on to the next round.